and welcome to this week's recap, week 2. As always, I'm Trauk, and we will be reviewing the results of this week, and then we'll make predictions for next week. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, we got the Ordinary Elves versus the Cretaceous Killers. I'd say this was the surprise of the week. Usually, you would think that Wood Elves have a really easy time against lizards, mainly because war dancers are so effective against skinks. They can just jump into a cage, punch a rookie skink in the face, and they will have block already. And in this case, they also have strip ball, they also have tackle, and this is especially effective when the Soros don't have a guard yet, which is the case. So yeah, it was a big surprise. So what happened? Well, in the first half, the Cretaceous Killers played a passive defense and waited for the elf mistake, and the elf mistake came. At some point, the elves exposed their board carrier to an easy blitz, which the lizards took, and then the lizards played a rather passive game. They didn't even try to score on that drive, even though they could have. And then in their own half, they were quite lucky. A Soros cut the ball, and once the Soros cut the ball, well, the whole problem about the War Darkness versus King just went away, right? Then they just grinded their way to turn 16, scored, and won 1-0. A pretty straightforward game from there, right? In any case, even though I think the elves were unlucky to have a Soros cut the ball at the start of the second drive, I also believe that they made some mistakes to at least not tie this game. That could have been maybe the tie, but the elves lost it because they were careless with the ball on the first half. Then we have Cold Cuts versus Time to Bash. This was an interesting match. I was rather surprised with the end result because I mean, my prediction was that the Dwarfs would win, but the development of the game didn't indicate that that would happen. The Chaos played that impeccable first half, managed to score on turn 8, and their ball carrier didn't have any real menace to getting sacked. In the second half, Agreen was able to have a superior removal game, and I think he noticed that he had a chance to score even though he would be on defense on 3 turns. So he scored on turn 13 and gave himself 3 turns to sack the ball and score. Rather brave, thinking his Dwarfs, you know? That's something that maybe elves or rats can do, but Dwarfs usually, when they get scored on their defensive drive, they try to tie. So good for you, A-Grain, for going for the win. In any case, like I said, the man advantage was important. At the start of that second drive of the second half, the Dwarfs had 10 players and the Chaos had only 7. Also, there was a big difference between this drive and their drive in the first half. This drive was not impeccable at all. They gave away a really easy blitz on their ball carrier, which the Dwarfs of course took, and after that the Dwarfs managed to score for the 2-1 win. Then we got Los Caballeros Tenochtitlan versus the Brusque Broads. Well, this was a rather predictable match, but even though it didn't happen exactly as I thought it would, because even though this Brett team didn't have any rerolls, they actually got rerolls in their inducement phase, so they had 2 rerolls for this game. Even then, well, the ladies started on offense. They managed to score on their drive. They scored early, trying to get a second score on that same half, and they did, because the Bretts didn't even protect the ball in the second drive of the first half. They just let it hang around on a deep kick and didn't even care about it. They just tried to punch ladies. So the ladies just ran past them and managed to score again, getting a 2-0 advantage on the first half. Then on the second half, uh, the Amazons managed to also play a very suffocating game. It was very interesting to watch. They managed to use their superior guard because they had guard and the breadstones, and just base them all the time. And that add that to the mighty blow Amazon that they had, and she managed to remove plenty of the bread pieces. It was really one-sided match. In the end, 4-0 win for the Amazons. And finally, we have also got the Orc versus Taint Burglars. I also predicted this win by the Necro, but as I said, it was a fair match in the end. I think Tenkon had done everything pretty much right and under control, but at some moment he got nervous, he got anxious, and gave Michaels a chance that he shouldn't have had. He put an orc in front of a wolf and gave Michaels a 4+ dodge into a 1 die with a wolf. I know it's not a great shot, but it's not a terrible shot either. You know, a 4+ with reroll is a 75% chance to get a shot on the ball, and he really didn't have to give that at all, but he did. So and that cost him the drive. The Orcs didn't score in their own drive, even though they should have. That was the first half. The first half ended 0-0 because the Orcs, even though they lost the ball, they managed to at least prevent Michaels from scoring on that drive. And then came the second half, and the second half was a rather standard half. This time the Claw and the Wolves fired real hard. The Orcs ended that drive with only 5 players, and Michaels just managed to grind his way to turn 16 and score, giving a typical 0-1 grind, in this case for Necro. And well, that's the summary for last week. Let's have a look what's happening next week. Okay, so we got the Amazons versus the Lizards. This is an interesting match. If I'm not mistaken, the Lizards don't have tackle yet. Let's have a look. No, they don't. I'm going to give this match to the Amazons. I think their universal dodge plus the great strength they showed against the Bretts, I think they will take it home. Then we have Time to Bash, the Chaos versus the Taint Burglars, the Necro. This is going to be a more fair match, I think. I think Jeff can give us more than he showed last match. I think if he focuses, he can do something with this. That said, it's still rookie Chaos, and rookie's Chaos is shit. Only 2 block, only 1 dodge. The rest are naked goats and naked Chaos Warrior. So I'm still giving this to Michaels. I think Jeff can give us more, but his team right now is not in condition to be that great. You know? And then we have Ordinary Elves versus Orcs. I'm gonna Orc. Let's have a quick look at the Orcs. Okay, so the Orcs got their tackle, lot work, plenty of block. It's a rather nice looking team. I think the Orcs are in a good spot this time around. Oh, do they have a thrower? That's rather important. I didn't check it very well. They do, so they can manage to survive that strip ball. I think the Orcs are in a good spot for this match. That said, elves will elf, so you never know. But if you ask me, I'm giving it to the Orcs. And finally, And finally, we got Cold Cuts versus Los Caballeros Tenochtitlan, and I'm just going to give this to the Chorps. A Green is a hell of a coach, has a disgusting good team, has plenty of tackle, mighty blow against the Dutch and the 87 of the Reds. And also the Brits didn't show such a strong game last game. That said, they played the Amazons. Amazons is a very very strong rookie team. So, but even then, I think I'm giving this one to the Dwarfs. I want to see if these guys finally bought a reroll. Nope, they don't. But they could. No, they can't. Oh shit. Yeah, and they don't have an apple either. It's going to be a hard one. They rolled edgy, which is great, but still, it's going to be a hard one. So yeah, that's the week for. I hope you guys get your matches early, so I can get the recap early too. And also, if you're going to play, if you want to ping me in Discord, that would be great. I love to watch matches live, but if not, I'm always happy to watch the replay later. So that's it. Good luck, guys. Keep developing your teams, and we will see you all next week.